Hello, everybody. We're here to talk about the death totals in the past 20 years. I'm doing this for educational purposes since I was not able to find a straightforward answer of just about the amount of total deaths that have happened over the past years and just a graph comparing them. So I decided to go and find that data, put it all together, and make it into a nice visual representation to share with everybody. I'm going to go over about my main source of where I have gathered this information. I have gathered this information from the Center for Disease and Control and Prevention, or what people know it as, the CDC. They have their own agency that goes and collects this data, and they collect it from all states of the United States. As you can see, in the year 2020, they are lacking the months of October, November, December, so they only have data from January to September. So I will explain later about how I compensated for that and the projected amount of people that died that year. As you can see, I have downloaded every PDF. I didn't just go into Google and type it and then copy and paste. I actually went into the PDF, copy and pasted it from the PDF, and then put it in my data because I feel like it would be a little harder to revise this compared to just going into Google and copy and pasting. So I have every PDF that everybody has access to on the CDC website. And I have gone over, I have read over, the 10 leading causes of death, which I found very interesting. But the 10 leading causes of death that has been a strong pattern for the past 20 years is usually heart disease, cancer, unintentional injuries, chronic lower respiratory diseases, stroke, Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, kidney disease, influenza, ammonia, and suicide. So they are the main reasons of death that's been kind of dominating for the past 20 years. It does fluctuate from other things, but I just wanted to point this out due to the whole 2020 pandemic and people seeing that people that have died due to the corona usually have these. So I just want to point out that these things are common, and it's been a common thing for the past easily 10 years. So as you can see in my graph, in the year 2000 we had 2.4 million deaths, and it was steady like that for over 10 years. In 2010 we had 2.4 million, and we finally hit the 2.5 million in 2011. So as you can see, we were steady for about easily 10 years of 2.4 million deaths, even during the unfortunate incident of 9/11 and during the swine flu pandemic, H1N1, which was only 60.8 million cases. So I just wanted to point that out. What I do find interesting is that we do start going with an incline after 2011, and it's a very steady incline. In 2011, we stayed at 2.5 million cases to about 2014 we were at 2.6, but we went from 2.6 million deaths to 2.7, so we jumped about 100,000 deaths within a year. Actually, sorry, 86,212 more deaths compared to the previous year. We stay at 2.7 million deaths for about 2 years, and then we go to a steady incline to 2.8 million deaths. So in the year 2020, it was projected that there was 3.1 million deaths. I will go over about how I got that number. So as you can see here, in 2019, it fluctuates about how many deaths happen per month, but the monthly average of deaths is about 200,000 people. And in the last 3 months of 2019, there was about 733,000 deaths. So I took my monthly average, times it by 3, and I got about 713,000. So not too off, even though as you can see there is a rise in deaths per month. It's nothing too crazy compared to the beginning of 2019 and towards the end of 2019. So it goes up and then down, then up again. So I use that average to compensate for the missing data. As you can see, from January to September, the total was 2.4 million deaths. And there is no data on October, November, December time frame. So I compensated that by adding this total with 2019's monthly average. I think that is a fair thing to do. And I got the result of 3.4 million deaths. So as you can see in my previous chart, that spike is very noticeable and out of the ordinary. So the difference between 2020 and 2019's total difference is about 290,000 deaths, which might not seem a lot, but if you notice that in 2019, there was 2.8 million deaths. If we were to minus that by 290,000 deaths, we would get 2.5 million deaths. We haven't had 2.5 million deaths since 2012. It took us since 2012 to raise up to 300,000 deaths. That's 7 years. We accomplished 300,000 deaths within a year. That took us originally 7 years. So I'm just trying to make a point that having 300,000 more deaths is something that is not normal. I'm not going to explain why we had so many more deaths than usual. I am here to point out that this is the data and that this is what happened and that this is something that is most likely still going on. So I want you all to take this with an open mind and realize that what your actions do affect others, and I just want you all to just pitch in, take care of each other, and make 2021 a better year. So I hope that this information has opened your eyes. It has opened my eyes. I hope that you all realize that this is something that we need to take a little more seriously, and I hope that you all just go out, learn to love each other a little more, and just make the right choices. You all have a good one. Bye-bye.